after talking to a doctor all day long, this is what we know right now about the people shot and rushed here. One woman died. 4 others are expected to survive. Rescuers think the 16-year-old may have been traveling around 35 miles per hour in the water and say he may have floated up to 7 miles before rescuers scooped him up right here.
Right now, you are seeing me on one of the brand new Albuquerque police lapel cameras, and all 500 or so Albuquerque officers could be using them in the field very soon.
And take a quick check of how deep the snow is right here. 12-inch ruler. I'm going to need a longer ruler. New tonight, we just talked to some evacuated residents from this apartment complex back here. Now, they tell me that Berlin police did a great job getting people out of the building, and firefighters did a great job saving the building. We'll have more from residents in just a moment, but first of all, this fire was quite destructive. Just a few moments ago, the Berlin fire chief told me the fire started right back in this corner where a bunch of chairs are sitting right now. Let's go ahead and take a look now from Chopper 4 over the fire this afternoon. The fire at the Talbot Lumber and Concrete Yard started around 3 o'clock. I'm told it was difficult to fight with strong winds, but most of the lumber inside was saved, and of course the apartment complex was saved as well. Now, apartment complex residents didn't have much time to react when the fire whipped up. I am told that the building actually is livable this evening. PNM went around, they checked the gas, they checked electrical lines. I'm told residents may be able to go back in tonight, but at this point the Red Cross is here just in case residents are out for a little while. Reporting live in Berlin, Joe Vigil, Eyewitness News 4. Near this spot on I-25 is where Raquel Lewis lost her 63-year-old mother. Around 1 a.m. last Friday, they were on their way home after visiting Lewis's son in the hospital. Now, lights next to the interstate are being called into question as a possible factor in the deadly wreck. One moment, Raquel Lewis and her mother, Eloisa Perea, were talking. The next moment, they were rolling in this truck.
We landed on on the passenger side. My hair was stuck under the car because I had my window open, and my legs were pinned under the dashboard.
Her mom, the driver, ended up next to Lewis.
And she was actually hanging from the seatbelt on me. And she was gasping for air, and I put my hands on her gash in her head, just trying to put pressure on it and telling her to fight.
But Lewis knew her mom wasn't going to make it.
I just told her, you know what, Mom, you don't have to be strong anymore. If you feel that you need to go, just go. And she went.
According to this search warrant we obtained, another truck hit them from behind. After the crash, an Albuquerque police detective focused in on some lights next to the interstate, indicating 2 lights weren't on. In the search warrant, he said this created an area of darkness, which was a contributing factor to this crash.
If those lights would have been on, maybe he wouldn't have drove the way he did into us.
We have called around, and so far it's unclear which government agency is responsible for the lights. I just spent 20 minutes driving up and down the interstate in this area. Here's what I found. Over at the Gibson exit on the southbound lane, there is 1 light out. This is the off-ramp here at the Sunport. You can see, may be able to see it, 1 light off. And we want to show you across the interstate, the northbound lanes here at I-25. You can see this wall over here. That is the on-ramp to northbound I-25 here at the Sunport. I just counted 9 lights off right now, right in that area. Again, 9 lights not working at this point. We don't know why, but we will work to find out. Reporting live at the Sunport, Joe Vigil, KOB Eyewitness News 4. When we set up a ride-along with the Gallup Police Department, we didn't know what to expect. Well, this is what we saw in less than 60 minutes.
You stand up.
Jack Graham is a guardian angel to many in Gallup. As a service aide with the police department, his sole job is to help intoxicated people.
I'm not yet.
We received permission to ride with him. When we first caught up with him, he already had 4 people in his van and dropped them off to sober up.
All right, buddy. Come on. Can you make it on your own? Up. Okay. Come on.
5 minutes after he left detox, he ran into this man. Just a couple minutes later, our interview was interrupted by another intoxicated person.
Ernie, come here. Okay, hop on in there, buddy.
Graham is trying to prevent what just happened to 3 pedestrians who were just killed in a span of 3 days. One man was sleeping under a semi that rolled over him. Another was hit by a train, and a third person was hit by a car.
The way they stated, he was playing Matador, and one vehicle hit him, and that was it.
It's suspected those killed were drinking.
Oh, they'll walk right out, you know, and not even know it. And people will be slamming on their brakes. But you have a seat right there.
By 6 tonight, Graham had safely transported 39 people to detox. It's not an easy job.
I got hit one night, got 3 teeth knocked out. I've been spit on, had feces thrown at me, urinated on.
But he says it's all worth it to keep people alive.
You're going to go with me for the night, okay? I think helping the people, you know, outweighs what they do to me.
Well, we were told the city transported about 18,000 people to detox last year. 100 or so people were in and out multiple times. That number is a dramatic improvement compared to 15 years ago when the yearly number was, get this, around 40,000 people. Nicole, back to you.
This is certainly one of those odd things in life. I'm going to step out so you can get a good look. It appears the church took a direct hit right here from a lightning bolt as the storm moved through around 6 o'clock tonight. A higher power delivered quite a jolt.
Wow.
Lightning punched a hole right through the top of Christ Lutheran Church, right above the altar.
Sad.
The concussion sent bricks flying. They damaged this heating and cooling unit, and small pieces of brick were blasted 150 feet away.
Boom.
5-year-old Aubrey Burmeister was in her mom's church classroom when they heard a loud crack.
So when I went to the door and looked outside, you could see the bricks had come off of the church, and there was some smoke coming up.
This is the second close call for Burmeister. 16 years ago in Missouri, lightning hit a school she was in. Is there anything wrong with you?
I certainly hope not.
Why is lightning chasing you?
Exactly.
With lightning hitting a church, you can't help but ask, why?
I suppose, you know, everybody says maybe a pastor preached an awful sermon or something last week and God was getting revenge. But
nobody was in the church at the time. All kidding aside, Pastor Groening says he's thankful no one was hurt or killed.
But you just trust God and you move forward and you say, it is what it is, and we thank God for all of his blessings, and it's just a building. It's just a building.
Now, it caused a small fire, but firefighters quickly put it out. Pastor Groen expects that Sunday services will go on as scheduled. Reporting live in Northeast Albuquerque, Joe Vigil, KOB Eyewitness News 4.
You are looking at a live picture from the Pajarito ski area at the raging Las Conchas fire. In the last hour, Governor Martinez has ordered the National Guard to Los Alamos County to help with voluntary evacuations. The fire has forced the closure of Los Alamos National Laboratory for tomorrow. Crews are out there right now trying to protect lab property. Gotti Schwartz starts our live team coverage from Los Alamos. Gotti.
Joe, back to you.
All right, very good. That's Gotti Schwartz reporting live via Skype tonight. Now, the fire started this afternoon around 1, about 12 miles southwest of Los Alamos. It forced the evacuation of people in Las Conchas. Eddie Garcia is live near the Jemez Falls campground with how the fire is looking at that end tonight. Eddie. Meanwhile, in Socorro County, crews continue trying to gain ground on a 75-acre bosque fire that has burned 3 homes and several sheds. Officials say the fire is human-caused, and some neighbors we talked to think they know how it started. Jeff Mars live outside of Veguita with the latest. Jeff. Well, just after 6:30 tonight, a man in a domestic violence situation was shot by Albuquerque police officers. Here is a live look where Albuquerque Police Chief Ray Schultz just gave a media briefing. Schultz says officers were called to Dallas Southeast near Pennsylvania and Zuni for a report of domestic violence. The suspect had a 15-inch bayonet and refused to drop it. Schultz says an officer tried to use a taser twice, but it had no effect. The chief says new rules were being used at the scene, including a supervisor being present and video being recorded. We're working to bring you more on this breaking news story, and we will have the latest on KOB.com and coming up at 5 tomorrow morning. A SWAT standoff following a violent stabbing near Central and Atrisco kept families from their homes for hours this morning. SWAT teams found an empty apartment after the nearly 6-hour standoff. Teams began clearing the scene about 1 this afternoon. We're told the victim is recovering tonight at UNM Hospital. Her injuries are not considered life-threatening. The suspect has been ID'd as Juan Manuel Rodriguez.
That's where Joe Vigil has been all night.
And Joe, you're looking a little cold tonight.
Well, you know, guys, I have been covering so much weather lately, I have turned into Frosty the Snowman. No, actually, this is just our little buddy we made tonight out of the snow, and a lot of snow was falling here. Vikings fan, Green Bay fan. I won't rub it in. I won't rub it in too much.
It's a good thing I'm sitting between them.
And he hits it into the water. Just get the little ball scooper, scoop it up, throw it back on, and don't count it.
And and that's what we would have done. Yeah, that's mine, and I'll take 3 or 4 others along.
I'll take them all again on that one.